All right, so welcome to this brand new section. In fact, the final section in the course where we're talking about physical security controls. And let's begin by talking about physical access controls. Now, these are security measures that can restrict and monitor access to specific physical areas or assets. And of course, they can control access to buildings as well, server rooms, data centers, finance or legal areas, and so on. Now, physical access controls will depend on the same access control fundamentals as your network or operating system security. We're talking about authentication, for example, right? There needs to be a list of approved people that will be allowed to enter into a building, and then authorization obviously will create barriers around the resource, so access to it is controlled through defined entry and exit points. And of course, accounting. We need to keep a record of who is going in, of who is going out. So basically keep a record of when entry and exit points are used and detect any security breaches. Now, when it comes to site layout, fencing, and lighting, given constraints of cost and existing infrastructure, we need to try to plan the site using the following principles. First of all, we identify the secure zones, and then we can use a demilitarized zone design for the physical space and position public access areas so that guests do not pass near the secure zone. So we want to keep the secure zones as far away as possible from the public areas, and then use signage and warnings to enforce the idea that security is tightly controlled. And then entry points to our secure zones should be discreet. We should not give an intruder the opportunity to simply wander around, snoop around, and then inspect whatever security mechanisms are in place. And then we also want to try and minimize the traffic passing between zones. So the flow should be more of like the in and out. People are going in, they're going out, they're going in, they're going out, rather than, oh, this person goes from zone A, he goes across to zone B, he goes between zone C and zone D. That becomes a bit more complicated to control. So give high traffic public areas high visibility as well. And then in secure zones, do not display screens facing toward pathways or windows. Obviously, you don't want people from the outside to be able to look on the inside and see what's on the computer screens of the employees or the workers, right? So alternatively, we could use a one-way glass so that no one can look in through the windows. And then, of course, we can use barricades and fencing to control the flow of people in and out of a building. And then sites where there is a risk of a terrorist attack, they will use barricades such as bollards, I'm sure you've seen those before, and security posts to prevent vehicles from approaching closely to the building at top speed. And of course, security lighting is also very important in contributing to the perception that a building is safe and secure during the night. And of course, we have our gateways and locks. To secure a gateway, we need to fit it with a lock, and we do have different types of locks. We do have the good old physical lock, which is your conventional lock that prevents the door handle from being operated without the use of a key. We also have electronic, which is rather than the use of a key, the lock will be operated by entering a pin on an electronic keypad. This type of lock is also referred to as a cipher, combination, or simply keyless. And of course, we have our biometric locks, which is a lock maybe integrated with a biometric scanner. And here are some examples from the 123rf.com website. We have from the left to right the standard key lock. We have the deadbolt lock, which is a bit more secure. And then we also have the electronic keypad lock. And then right here, we do have the thumbprint scanner lock, which is obviously, of course, your biometric lock. And then a token-based key card lock as well. And then moving on to gateways and locks, we have the man traps. So the thing about simple doors or gates is that these can be lock picked, and then we also cannot accurately record who is going in and who is going out through these doors, because guess what? One single person could open the door and leave that door open for other people to simply walk in or walk outside. So a turnstile, we could use this to mitigate this issue, because with the turnstile, typically only one person can go in at a time. And then we could also add some sort of a surveillance as well that would help. However, if cost is not an issue, then a man trap can simply be employed. And of course, here's an example of your man trap. I'm pretty sure you've seen this before. It's kind of similar to what you have in airports. When you're trying to go to your gate, you're passing through security, you'll have to go through something like this. They'll check to see if you have any sort of metal on your body or on your clothes, something like that. And then also in certain countries, especially in banks, they do have man traps like this installed, just to make sure that anybody entering doesn't have any kind of like a dangerous weapon or anything of the sort. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next class.